In this video, we're going to take a closer look at why it's cool to be a prepper. If you're a prepper, you've probably spent years of your life being ridiculed by your closest family and friends, in addition to everyone in the media as being some crazy doomsday prepper waiting for the apocalypse and stockpiling rice and beans. Well, now with everything going on in the world, it looks like us preppers were basically right, and it's actually cool now to be a prepper. So it got me thinking, what does it mean to be cool? So I did some research online and found an interesting article on bustle.com called 11 Interesting Traits of People Who Are Effortlessly Cool by Carolyn Steber. So for this video, we're going to go down each one of those 11 interesting traits of people that are cool, and we're going to see if it matches up with preppers. So let's get started now with this video featuring preppers who nowadays are cool. The number one trait that the article lists of people that are effortlessly cool is that they are independent. It reads, regardless of what society has to say, the coolest people in the world tend to do their own thing and stay true to their course, even if it's unpopular. Quote, cool people often have some haters, but for the most part, people admire them for doing their own thing, even if that thing is unique and different. Well, that definitely matches up to us preppers. We are fairly independent because most of the people in our day-to-day lives make fun of us for being preppers and for thinking about emergency preparedness measures. But we don't let that get us down. Even though previously it was unpopular, we just stay the course with our various emergency preparedness measures. So I think the number one trait, that we are independent, definitely rings true for preppers. The number two trait of people that are cool is that they roll with the punches. It goes on to read, even if life throws a curveball their way, the coolest folks are rarely fazed. And it's not to say that they don't have insecurities or anxieties or that they don't care. They do, however, maintain a laid-back attitude that allows them to see the world with clarity. It goes on to read, they see the big picture that most things don't matter and have a big picture perspective on things. So I think that trait does hold true for preppers. We have a lot of various contingency plans in our emergency preparedness measures. For example, we say 1 is none, 2 is 1. Sometimes people say 3 is for me, where they want to have a backup to the backup to the backup and have various contingency plans. So then when things don't go the way that we think they might, we still have a backup plan for that. So I think number 2 holds true for preppers. Number 3, they take an interest in others. It goes on to read, sometimes the coolest person in the room is the one who makes other people feel cool by listening and taking a vested interest in them. Quote, the prevailing belief is that to be cool, you have to be distant, remote, mysterious, and impossible to fathom. But the truth is that to be a fascinating person, you don't have to distance yourself from others. The most fascinating people are the ones who are fascinated. Now, to be honest, this one probably doesn't match up with all preppers because some preppers are fairly remote and don't take an interest in others. They want to have their bug out locations and don't really care what's happening to other people. But I think in the YouTube preparedness community, oftentimes us preppers are very interested in what other people are doing. We're constantly trying to collaborate with each other, get new ideas from people with like-minded views, because in our real everyday lives, we oftentimes struggle to find people that have like-minded views with emergency preparedness topics. So oftentimes the people that are going online are seeking other people and are interested in what they're doing for their various emergency preparedness measures, whether they're a tactical person, a medical person, a comms person. Oftentimes we take an interest in those people. So for number 3 of taking an interest in others, I say it's a maybe. The number 4 trait in the article says that cool people never stop learning. It goes on to read, going off that, cool people never stop learning and often put effort not only in getting to know others, but improving themselves as well. To be cool, be a lifelong student, a student of all there is to learn in this fascinating, mysterious world, and a student of every person you meet who could teach you something new. It goes on to state, the coolest people are the ones who take classes, read books, have ideas, and who remained open-minded through it all. Now this one's definitely true for preppers. There's a saying in the preparedness world that the number one prep is knowledge or skills, knowing how to do various things, and oftentimes you have to research it, whether it be primitive fire starting or various medical training or things related to ham radio and comms, you name it, there's all sorts of skills to learn, and preppers are always trying to master new skills to include into their mental arsenal. So for number 4, that definitely holds true for preppers. Number 5 lists that they don't try hard to impress others. It goes on to read, when it comes to projecting confidence, a lot of it has to do with the fact cool people aren't trying hard to impress anyone. Cool people don't need to try, they are. It goes on to say that it could be easily copied by, quote, not apologizing for who you are or trying to be like anyone other than yourself. So preppers definitely aren't trying to impress anyone because we are already getting made fun of, at least previously. Even on the YouTube preparedness community, you can see all the various preparedness channels. They all have their own certain quirks and things that are unique to them, and they don't really care if anyone really matches to what their own particular needs are. Everyone has different regions that they're located in. They have different needs based off of how many people are in their family or whatever. They're not really trying to impress anyone as far as copying one-to-one to one particular all-encompassing prepper. So I think preppers definitely aren't looking to impress anyone. Number 6 states that they are pretty much always confident. It goes on to read, just to really drive the point home, let's talk about confidence again. Even though everyone's entitled to an off day and moments where they don't feel so great about themselves, cool people are usually able to pull it all together and put on that swagger wherever they go. Again, just look at the various YouTube preparedness channels. Each one of those channel personalities is very confident. They're very comfortable talking in front of the camera, talking about their interest in prepping, even though for most people it's not popular, except for the people that are actually into preparedness. But they talk with conviction, with confidence, and they're very proud of their various preparedness measures that they have in place, and they're more than willing to share it with others. So I think that preppers are definitely very confident. Number 7 lists that they project positive vibes. It goes on to read, it's pretty easy to get caught up in the external and think that coolness comes from the way someone looks, how they dress, etc. But it's almost 100% internal. Quote, cool is a feeling, a mindset, a way of being and acting. It goes on to read, quote, the inner state that determines cool is confidence, self-acceptance, clarity, conviction, and commitment. Now this one I would say isn't totally accurate with all preppers. There are a lot of preppers that are very positive. I try to be fairly positive on my particular channel, but there's a lot of other preppers out there that are very doom and gloom and thinking of the worst case scenario. It goes with the nature of emergency preparedness topics. We're thinking about very scary doom and gloom type scenarios. So oftentimes that's what we're projecting. There are some exceptions to that, and I think more and more people are trying to show preparedness in more of a positive light. That's something that's practical that you do, just like getting car insurance or getting homeowners insurance or getting life insurance. It's just a practical insurance measure that you're doing, and that's what we project. But I would say that it's not 100% with all preppers. Number 8 list, they have hobbies they care about. It goes on to read, it doesn't matter what the hobby is, writing, making music, running marathons, knitting, etc. Most people who are considered cool have something they care about. Quote, they have fun, interests, and hobbies, and they're passionate about them. Now that's definitely true for all preppers. All preppers have various hobbies that they're very interested in. Not all preppers are the same. There's some preppers that are very into firearms, for example. There's other preppers that are into knives. There's some preppers that are into modules and color coordinating. There's some preppers that are into emergency preparedness food, long-term food storage. There's some that just like testing flashlights. There's some that are very into ham radios. You name it, they have their one specific hobby that they really like focusing on. I think that holds true for all preppers. Number 9 lists that cool people are non-judgmental. It goes on to read, since cool people have embraced their quirks and shortcomings, whatever they may be, they tend to have an easier time embracing the quirks and shortcomings of others. And that means they're incredibly open-minded and non-judgmental. Now this one doesn't hold true for all preppers. A lot of preppers are very judgmental because we've been getting made fun of by all sorts of people. And we also make fun of other preppers that don't align with our particular areas of emphasis towards preparedness. Just take a look at the prepper, All-American Prepper. He is extremely judgmental. He's judged my channel, he's judged other channels, he doesn't like their various setups, he doesn't like their kits, and he doesn't have any qualms about saying why he doesn't like it. But that might be just an exception. There's a lot of people that aren't judgmental and they're willing to accept other people's various quirks and their different approaches to prepping as long as they have that common preparedness theme. But I would say in the large part, a lot of us preppers are fairly judgmental just because we've been getting made fun of for so long, or we're just very particular towards our style of emergency preparedness, such as the notorious All-American Prepper. The number 10 trait of people that are effortlessly cool is that they can find meaning in anything. It goes on to read, when you're hanging out with someone who you think is cool, it's pretty hard to feel bored, and that's because they can make the most mundane moments feel special. Quote, we are intrigued by them because they could turn a not so rare or unusual experience into something engaging. It goes on to read, quote, they are also quite good at finding meaning and purpose in life, and again, that is a quest so many people are on. To see someone who has hit upon that, because it is the Holy Grail, makes them seem interesting. I think that definitely holds true for preppers. A lot of our emergency preparedness and survival topics are very mundane, whether it be what's the best fire starter for wet conditions and doing various tests to see which one is actually the best. Most people don't care about that. Most people don't care about lumens on flashlights and which one throws better versus which one has better spill, what the best jimping of a knife is, where a pocket clip should be located for a folding knife, you name it. There's all sorts of mundane topics that most people in your everyday life could care less about. Us preppers do care about those things, even though they're mundane, and we oftentimes seek other preppers who are also interested in that so we can bounce around ideas. So yes, definitely preppers are interested in the mundane. And then the number 11 interesting trait of people that are effortlessly cool is that they know what they stand for. To be cool throughout your entire life, it's all about knowing what you stand for and sticking to it. Quote, "If you want to be cool in a sustainable, authentic, and empowering way, the best path to do that is to discover who you really are, what you really stand for, what your true gifts or talents are, and then commit to cultivating them." Now that definitely holds true for all preppers. We know exactly what we stand for. I think all preppers want to be self-sufficient. They don't want to have to rely on something to be able to provide for themselves or their family. They want to take proactive measures to get a little bit more prepared for a variety of different situations, and they don't care what anyone thinks, and they're perfectly willing to share it with the online community. For example, every single preparedness channel out here for emergency preparedness on YouTube, for example, we're more than willing to share our various ideas and talk about what we believe with regard to items or situational type things or knowledge things or how to do this or how to do that. We're very willing to share that with the community. We don't care if you're going to make fun of us or not. It doesn't hurt us. We're going to keep doing our own thing. So preppers definitely know what they stand for, and that's to be self-sufficient and prepared for the unexpected. So out of that list of 11 interesting traits of people that are effortlessly cool, I think you can make a strong case that preppers match up to around 9 of those 11 interesting traits. There are some preppers that meet all 11 of those traits, and there are some, maybe some lone wolves or tactical ninjas out there that match up to a little bit less than 9. But for the most part, I think you can make a strong point that preppers are really cool. That's going to do it for this video featuring why preppers are cool. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching it. Please leave your comments below in the comments section regarding this video. Let me know what you think. Is it now cool to be a prepper? Are some of your family and friends not teasing you as much anymore for being a prepper and now think that some of the stuff that you did for emergency preparedness is pretty cool, in fact? Leave those comments below in the comments section. And if you've been worried and stockpiling on some supplies during everything going on in the world right now, guess what? You're a prepper too. So again, thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for more. Stay safe, everyone.